Good evening, everybody. It's getting pretty late in here. I hope I get a little bit of time today to write some code. It's been a hard day, so now just have my cup of water. I hope I can sit down even for just a couple of minutes, relax and write some Haskell code after a very hard day. Right. Join me today for another session of me working on drakon renderer. Yesterday we made pretty good progress on yet another version of the layout algorithm. Today I have an idea how to help get the algorithm closer to a recursive application. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into the code and let's keep writing. So yesterday we finished just here where the first sort of wave of positioned icons is isolated, and we find the first positioned icon looking from the bottom of the graph to the top of the graph that contains dependents that are not positioned yet. So and today we'll be changing this function slightly, this, to find not the first dependent on the left, but to find the first dependent starting from left and continuing to the right of the list of dependents that is not positioned yet. This function is almost ideal. The change that I would love to make today is to change or modify which dependent from this list we take. Today we take a position dependent, we take just the D, the first element, but we need to remember that the first element could be already positioned. So I think I'll just focus on writing a variant of this function. And in the meantime, sorry, we'll have to take a little bit of a detour because these permissions issues, permission issues are kind of getting old. So bear with me as we take the detour. I'll just clone the repository again and see what happens. Or maybe I won't. There we go. Oh, the internet is super slow today. I wonder what happened. Let's quickly change to a different Wi-Fi. That's better. I'm not sure what happened. Oops, sorry. I know it will probably take a little minute to start the development environment. But I think it's worth it. So now we have two containers running the environment. So while this is getting ready, I'll have it ready on my other screen. Let's continue with the code. So here, we'll need to, out of this list, pick the first dependent that is not on the list of positioned icons yet. So our first path prime will have to get not only the list of all icons, but also the list of all positioned icons. And of course, this will have to be applied recursively. First path. How do we call this? Let's just settle for all positioned icons for now. So all positioned icons, obviously we'll have to use this for the recursive invocation of first path prime. And now we'll have to come up with a function that takes the list. I wonder what this is, all dependence prime. I think it returns icons, but let's just double check. It returns a list of icons. So we will need a function with, for now, an irrelevant name. Which returns, sorry, and it will also need a list of positioned icons. And it returns an icon, or maybe icon. That is the first, which is the first icon that's not positioned yet. So ABC would look something like this. Let's call it dependence, all positioned icons. And here, let's go with just a plain fold L, where we fold all dependence. Starting with nothing, with the following lambda. Let me just save it for now. The other environment is still starting. used to have a function called ABC. Oh, so let's go def. So this function already does a very similar trick. It checks whether we have a positioned icon of a given name that matches our name here. So let's say ABC. And it returns a bool. So case ABC you will have to extract the name of the X. Get icon name X. If it is in all positioned icons, well, first we need to take care of the accumulator. Case if the accumulator is nothing, we can run the logic. And if we, let's do a false. So if it says that if icon X name is not present in the list of positioned icons, means that we need that icon. Just X. Otherwise, if it is present, we just return ACC. Now, in case of we just return ACC. And here, first of all, let's see if it builds. This is fun. Love errors like that. Hope it saves this time. Yes, it did. 35. First path 24. Sorry, positioned icon singular. This is fun. Let's see if it builds now. It looks like it is going to build, but let's not raise our hopes up just yet because the function is not used yet. We have to execute it here somehow. So here, dependence, then def dependence with all positioned icons. Case def dependence and all positioned icons of nothing. It means that there are no available dependents in the whole hold on, let's slow down. We're getting all dependents of, okay, I just need to refresh my memory. Here, we are getting all dependents of this parent, which are icons. So in case of these dependents containing at least one dependent, containing no dependents that are already positioned, it means that we should return nothing. It means that our rendering is basically finished. But I don't think a case like that will ever happen, because to end up executing this function, we need a parent that contains a dependent that are not positioned yet. So I think this is a red herring case that will never happen. Otherwise, if we get just a D, now we can execute position dependent icon D, first path position dependent icon D. Okay, let's see if this builds. Sorry. The other environment is still getting ready, so please bear with me. Perfect, and now if we execute first path prime with just that parent, we should get 8, if I remember correctly. 100 was last, so yeah, we should be getting 8. I hope it is the case. We do print a parent, that's good. Let's do. How did we call them? These dependents, definitely dependence. Let's call it new dependence. Not very original. New dependence equals first path prime executed with parent. Executed with all icons and all positioned icons. Well, this file saves. That's good. All icons. Where are all icons? Icons and positioned icons. No, what am I doing? New dependence is first path prime executed with parent icons, all positioned icons, and then we want to print dependence. Let's see what happens. Oh, sorry. Of course, we'll need to export this and save the file once again. Liking these exports. Excuse the mess. It's just temporary. Oh, sorry. Layout engine, first path prime. Execute. All right. What do we get now? We get copy. In the meantime, let's try to see what this rendered. Oh, this renders still the previous version of the graph that is using only positioned icons. In our case, we should be using positioned icons and new dependence. So just for the sake of my sanity, let's do this. Print positioned icons, and here let's do new positioned icons, and then it would be nice to render it. But before we do, let's just quickly run it. Well, I remember that I expected 8. That is a child of icon 6. Sorry, not icon 6, icon 7. I remember the parent that we returned was 6 during the last session. So its child is number 107. 100 we rendered. Then the other child is 7. 7 has a dependency on, sorry, it has 2 dependents, 100, which is already rendered. And then we get an 8. And then we get 8, which has only 1 dependent, which is 100. Okay. So it looks like we should get a 7 here, which has 1 dependent, which is 8. So I will never learn how to copy from terminal. So these are the new dependents that we get. position 7 and 8. Beautiful. So if we were to render this, we should expect 2 columns. Okay, and this is what we've just accomplished. Now, let's bring all these lines a bit up and also indent them. Which column is this? 19. We need to indent this to column 23. That can be tricky, but we've done worse things before. Twenty-three. So now let's create a new variable called let refreshed positioned icons, which consists of positioned icons and also new dependents. I will work on those names. For now, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's comment this out. Comment this out. And now we'll need to get rid of all instances of positioned icons and replace them with refreshed positioned icons. I think that's it. I hope it builds. So now we're expecting a rendering that contains 2 columns. And we can see that it sort of has something here. Oh, I know what's happening. It is still defaulting the x to 0. It shouldn't. Now the layout engine. This is the X. We use parents X. This could be tricky. Because we want the X to be constant. Just for a test, let's assume the X is going to be a constant icon width plus plus space between icons X, just as a test. Y plus plus. What am I thinking? All right. There's something. I'm not sure why transport is rendered like this. Oh. Simply because I made the change in the wrong place. That's a good sign. I'm getting pretty tired. It's almost 9 p.m. I should be wrapping this up, but I'm really curious how this is going to work. I can figure out fixing this tomorrow. Today, I'm just really dying to see how this is going to be rendered. I'm not expecting any problems, really. That second column should be rendered just fine. Ooh, okay, what do we get here? And it does look correct. The second environment is just standing up. That's good. You know what, let's open a new window. Maybe not anymore. It's just not worth it for now. Where's that code? Here. So what do we get? Let's quickly check. All these icons have not changed. Transport, query preservation, perfusion, perfuse, remove the brain. No. At the end. So let's quickly verify that. Remove the brain is 6. It has 2 dependents. 107. 100 is the end. Perfect, which doesn't depend, which has no dependence. And the other one is 7. 7 is remove alternative. Perfect. Which also depends on the end. And it has this unfortunate connection to the end. We can fix it later, but it does connect. And also it depends on 8, which is embalm here. And embalm depends only on 100. And I believe the connection just goes like to the top and to the left. We can fix these connections, but this is already very promising. And I'm taking this as a win for today when it comes to the layout of position type, layout of the icons. Sorry, I got lost in thought. Let's open a folder. Let's open this new drakon. And here I should, oh, sorry. Yes, trust the authors. Let's quickly copy the content of main file. Quickly do it on camera. Main. Save. No problems with saving. I must have cloned the repository as a root. Unfortunate. Layout engine. Copy. Let's just quickly check if it produces the same result. Diagram, real life diagram. Doesn't for some reason. Getting tired of this, but I'll fix it for tomorrow. The environment that cannot override this layout engine. For now, I still want to do one thing, and this is not to mess around with that X. Positioned icons. So all positioned icons that this function produces, it and its recursive invocations should have a constant X that can be just provided as an argument. New X. And that new X can just be this. In that case, we don't even have to worry about this X. We can just say new X. Any other X's here? And here in function main. We can say we could say icon width plus space between icons, but I want to get this function a little bit closer to recursive invocation. So I'm just going to get the X of a parent, add icon width, add space between icons. That should be fine. So here we need an X, we need a parent. There will be a lot of cleanup after this, but I'm optimistic that we found a new groove for positioning icons. Yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about this. Plus here we just give new X. Will it work? Sorry. Right. Engine 24. Oh. G. New X. Should produce the same result as we received the last time. Perfect. That's good. All right, so we'll do a little bit of a cleanup tomorrow or during the next session. And we'll try to start applying the new algorithm recursively. And I believe we're nearly getting there. Let's try to execute the same code we have just for a different input and see what we get. This is fun. So here we get just one column. Let's delete it. Still one column. I wonder why. Should be getting the dependent of this thing. So tempted. Let's do new positioned icons, and let's also print the parent. So the parent should be icon 3. It said 5a. I wonder. But it only has one dependent. That's not very good. Okay, but we're getting places. For now, I'm pretty happy with the results. We can always tweak this, but the new algorithm seems to be pretty easy to troubleshoot, which I'm always after. With that, thank you very much for your patience and for sticking with me during this short evening session. And I wish you all a happy good night and see you during the next one. Bye.